ಶಾಂತಿಯ ಉಳಿಸು. ತಾಯಿ ಶಾರದೆ ಲೋಕ ಪೂಜಿತೆ, ಜ್ಞಾನದಾತೆ ನಮೋಸ್ತುತೆ. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮಾತುಗಳಾಡಿಸು, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸವ ಮಾಡಿಸು. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮಾತುಗಳಾಡಿಸು, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸವ ಮಾಡಿಸು. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ದಾರಿಯಲೆಮ್ಮ ನಡೆಸು, ವಿದ್ಯೆಯ ಕಲಿಸು. ಆಸೆ ಪೂರೈಸು. ತಾಯಿ ಶಾರದೆ ಲೋಕ ಪೂಜಿತೆ, ಜ್ಞಾನದಾತೆ ನಮೋಸ್ತುತೆ. ಜ್ಞಾನದಾತೆ ನಮೋಸ್ತುತೆ. ಜ್ಞಾನದಾತೆ ನಮೋಸ್ತುತೆ.
Thank you, Chandana and Vasuprada. Now I request Dr. B.K. Narendra, Principal, BGSIT, Dean of Engineering and Management, Adichinchingiri University, for the welcome address.
Jai Shri Gurudev. Good morning to one and all. With the divine blessings of our Gurujis, a very warm welcome to all the participants as well as the resource persons. For the Faculty Development Program comes a webinar on financial education, a hallmark of National Education Policy 2020. Financial literacy can be one of the key ways to bridge the gap between wealth creation journey and the economic growth. The absence of financial literacy will not be able to create a strong foundation in terms of decisions concerning savings and investment. At the same time, financial literacy will provide in-depth knowledge of financial education and strategies that are crucial for financial growth and success of the individual as well as institutions. Financial literacy is the most basic and critical skills that everyone should have. But unfortunately, till now, we have found that financial literacy is not being taught in our schools as well as colleges. But with the coming NEP, we feel that it is absolutely essential that financial education and financial literacy should be made accessible to all the students of our country. But in India, talking about finances at home is not a common practice. Many lack the basics of managing money, whether it's savings, investing, buying, insurance, or emergency funds. The importance of savings and investment is an important value that must be inculcated from early on. The rule of compounding should be taught to everyone. This will help one understand the golden rule of investment to start early. Financial literacy is an important skill to learn how to achieve financial growth and success. The COVID-19 pandemic has put millions of lives in danger and put many people out of jobs, and they are in a critical financial crisis. The pandemic not only impacted everyone physically and mentally, but more so financially. This made people more self-aware of the importance of investments and savings for an unexpected rainy day. It is important to be financially prepared irrespective of your age, gender, education, or living in metros or in rural areas, and we have to be able to manage our finances. As the economy now is in the path of recovery, a surge in investments, especially by retail investors, is being observed. But the country's lack of financial literacy is a grave concern, as knowledge which is not fully made known is more dangerous than no knowledge. I take this opportunity to welcome Shri Suryakant Sharmaji, Senior Consultant and former DGM SEBI, to this month. I request him to kindly give his inputs on this aspect. I would also like to thank and welcome Dr. Sanjay Agarwal, the Coordinator, Association of Mutual Funds of India, for having organized this function, this workshop and webinar. I would also like to welcome my mentor and guide, Dr. C.K. Subraya, the Registrar of Adichinchingiri University. I'd also like to welcome all the principals of our constituent colleges as well as participants from various colleges across India. Dr. Sanjay Agarwal has told me that we have participants from around 24 states across the country. There are many research scholars as well as students who are attending this program. I wish all of them a particular day wherein they will be able to absorb a lot of things and take all the inputs from Dr. Shri Suryakant Sharmaji. So a very warm welcome to one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your welcome, sir. Now I request Dr. C.K. Subbaraya, Registrar, Adichinchingiri University, for a presidential remarks.
Thank you. Jai Shri Gurudev. Pleasant good morning to all of you. Is it audible? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Audible.
Okay. Jai Shri Gurudev, present. Good morning to all of you. I'm extremely happy to be part of this particular program, the Financial Education, a hallmark of NEP 2020. Dr. B.K. Narendra, Dr. Sanjay Agarwal, and the resource person, Sri Suryakant Sharma, the Rohit, Professor Rohit, and all other the participants and organizers of this particular program. Today, the finance is the lifeline of any organization or the business or the person, individual person. We think of always the expenditure, the profit, the cash flow, and the credits, so many things. In any organization, a healthy financial management is an important factor, what I feel. Therefore, the awareness about the financial management or the whatever the day-to-day the financial happenings are there is very, very important, not only for an educated person. An illiterate also should know today, because the opportunities are huge. So in that context, one has to wisely think of spending money or earning money or saving the money, investing it in all aspects. So we always expect a good return by savings. I was going through the various mutual funds investment, the insurance company investments, and a lot of other corporate sectors are coming out with opportunities for investments. So all those are there. Of course, no doubt, certain amount of risk factors are there. Without taking risk, I don't think so we can progress. But we should take very intelligently certain risks, think of twice and invest. So that is what I feel the financial management. Then our Professor Narendra knows very well, and in civil engineering, we always first we plan it. So therefore, planning of the whatever management is there, that planning is an important aspect. In civil engineering, 3 mantras are there. Always, whatever we want to do, first we plan it, then we estimate it. So some kind of idea, how much requirement and what are all the amount is required and all. Then the third stage is execution. Then we get into the field. But here also the financial management is something planning, directing or organizing, and then control over that is very, very important. In recent years, we have seen many of the top business people, they have probably gone wrong, and ultimately they have left this world also. In recent news also, I saw something. It's all because they should have, they do not have a clear control over the management. They expand the business everywhere. They want to become top in the world. Of course, Bill Gates, many people are, of course, that Microsoft and many other people. Today, the knowledge is very, very important, we say. Knowledge is power, our elders have told long back. Earlier, of course, different peoples were the richest people in the world. The majority of the richest people at present context is they are banking on the knowledge of very young and efficient people, in fact. So therefore, this kind of literacy about financial management is very, very important. That too, like professionals, like Mr. Suryakant Sharma, his advice, persons like him, many, so are required timely also. So this kind of advice is where to get, how to get, when to get, all those also very important. Starting from the household balance sheet, we start managing at our own home very efficiently sometimes, to the any organization or the country or the state, you know that the budgetary allocations and how they manage it properly, that is the kind of the robust or efficient way of mobilizing and managing the resources, etc. Those are important. So we know that in a rapidly changing global environment, the financial education is one of the most undermined skills that could determine the country's future. On a macro level, of course, we have at the government have a lot of experts who can guide and manage and predict the futuristic changes and all. But at the micro level, many people are carried away by, of course, are misled by many people. And we know that whatever the savings are there, or they could be able to, their earnings are there, that has been mismanaged by many others. So that is very important, what I feel. Under the COVID-19 pandemic situation also, there are many losers, there are many gainers also. So financial education are knowing what is happening in and around, especially the healthcare systems and health related whatever business were there. People are telling they made huge profit knowing the situation.
Sir, unable to hear anything.
Yeah, Dr. Rohit, I think Sir is disconnected.
I am checking, sir. Just give me a second, else we move on. Sir, disconnect ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈಗ ಒಂದು few seconds back. I'm sorry, there was some technical issues. What sir is facing. We will continue with the program. He will join us back. Yeah. Sanjay Agarwal, sir, thank you so much. I extend a warm thanks to Dr. C.K. Subbaraya, sir. Some technical issues he is facing. He will join us back. I request Mr. Purushottam B, an assistant professor from the Management Studies Department, to give a brief introduction about the resource person for today's program. Mr. Shri Suryakant Sharma ji.
Shri Gurudev, it's an immense pleasure to introduce today's resource person, Suryakant Sharma ji. Suryakant Sharma ji is a commerce graduate and master's in law with specialization in corporate laws. He is also chartered associate of Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. Sri Sharma has over 35 years experience in banking and finance and securities market. He served initially in a leading financial institution, thereafter in Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, and finally in SEBI for more than 15 years. Sri Sharma ji joined Securities and Exchange Board of India in 2003 and served there for more than 16 years in different departments of SEBI. Lastly, in addition to other assignments, he was DGM in charge of Office of Investor Awareness and Education in SEBI's North region for more than 5 years. Sri Sharma is also a member of working group of NCERT for developing vocational course on mutual funds for students of 11th and 12th classes. Sri Sharma also mentor of a few NGOs working for financial literacy and investor awareness in the country. Under his supervision, more than 15,000 financial literacy and investor awareness programs were conducted across North India. So when he was in SEBI, and he himself has addressed as guest speaker in more than 600 investor awareness programs. After superannuation from SEBI in 2019, he has joined Association of Mutual in India and Apex Body of Mutual Fund in India as senior consultant for spreading investor awareness among citizens. During pandemic since May 2020, Sri Sharma ji has interacted with thousands of investors and students through more than 250 webinars in reputed educational and professional institutions, corporates, startups, government departments, public enterprises, research institutes, professional business bodies across the country. So with this very lengthy brief introduction, so we have Suryakant ji, so we're going to address the participants today.
Thank you, Dr. Rohit. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Thank you very much. Dr. Rohit, I will keep you with me all the time during my session. So kindly keep your video on.
Okay, sir, sure.
Rather, I will request 2-3 more your organizing team members to kindly keep their video on so that I can feel we are connected to some. If all videos are off, sometime a feeling creeps into whom we are talking to.
True, sir.
Yes, sir, true. I'll make sure that they will all switch on their videos, yeah?
Thank
you. Please unmute yourself, sir. Please unmute.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rohit. Respected Vice Chancellor, sir, I am privileged to be with your faculty members and staff and your students, and also faculty of other colleges and university across country. I am told that around 900 registrations have been there for this program. So I am thankful for the sincere efforts made by your team for this program. I am also thankful Dr. Sanjay for coordinating this program with the esteemed institutions. I am also thankful Dr. Narendra and his team for putting every effort to make this program success. Thank you very much, Dr. Narendra, as well, and to all your other faculty members and staff members. Respected Vice Chancellor, I wish to mention 2-3 things before I start my session. This program is from Association of Mutual Fund in India, which is an apex body of AMFI. But it is not a marketing event or a promotional event of mutual funds. Dr. Narendra, it should be very clear to all the participants. It is purely an investor awareness program, rather financial literacy, whatever we put it. And the purpose of the program, Dr. Narendra, is to sensitize the participant about management of their money. Secondly, since this program is for the participants, I will request for young participants, particularly Dr. Rohit and other students, if they wish, they can have pen, pencil, and one notepad with them. If they wish, because if they find anything new in my new idea or a new information in my session, they can note it down and explore through websites and Google. Respected Vice Chancellor, sir, you know it, everything is available now on websites. So such programs are just to sensitize them, just to encourage them to go deeper into their financial and money management. Thirdly, since this program is for the participants, I would be very happy, Dr. Narendra, if more and more questions come from the participants, because that will be reflection that they are with us. They have some doubt, they have some queries about the subject. So that is why they can put their questions in the chat box. Dr. Rohit will take care of them once my session is over. And after my session is over, we will make it open. Anybody can raise hand and can also ask questions. Dr. Rohit, as I just mentioned that I will keep you along with me during my session. I will taking your name again and again, because yes, you are a...
Yes, sir. I'm actually with Narendra sir only. I'm both of us.
I know. I can see. Narendra sir is a senior person. That is why I am telling you that I will keep you. I want young people with me. Of course, Narendra sir is more than young than you. Don't in that way. I am not saying. So thank you very much. And I two things more I wish to mention, Dr. Rohit, here. That I want to, sir, I will try to make this program as simple as I will not try to make it a technical session, sharing lot of data, lot of other things. I will try to make this session as simple as we are sitting in our dining room and talking to each other. For Dr. Rohit, I just ask one question to you. Kindly answer this question. What are the two main sources of money for the middle class, salary class person like you and me? What are the two main sources?
Salary.
Of course.
That is a major source of income for the middle class and like you and me. And apart from that, small savings, the interest on savings, what we get out of it.
Absolutely. You got it right, sir. You got it right, my dear. There are two main sources. Dr. Narendra is well aware. First source is your salary. That is your main source of income, particularly those who are salary class persons. But the other important source of income, which we, particularly middle class person, Vice Chancellor, sir, don't discuss it much and don't rather give importance to it, that my money should also earn money for me. That is equally important. And most of us rather don't give credence to this. But Dr. Narendra knows it very well, that rather it is more important than what we earn. My money should also earn money for me. That is whole financial management. That is whole the money management. And so I will talk more on the how we can manage our money. Of course, as far as the salary is concerned, Dr. Narendra is teaching students how to upgrade themselves, how to update themselves about their degrees and research area, how to get best job, how to upgrade themselves. All these things Dr. Narendra is taking care of. The second aspect we will discuss about how my money should make money for me. One more question, Dr. Rohit, I will ask you before I start coming on the money aspect. What are the two main purposes money serves in our life? Can you tell me what are the two main purposes or object, whatever you say?
Day-to-day expenditures.
Yeah.
Other one is with respect to any future planning.
Okay. Dr. Narendra, sir, you will agree with me that money has got two main purposes in our life. First is security.
Yes, security, correct.
And second is prosperity. Am I right, Dr. Rohit?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
First is security and second is prosperity. But Dr. Rohit, when security we get in our life, when we have plenty of money. Security will come only when we have plenty of money. One day, Dr. Rohit will definitely have 1 crore rupees in his bank account. Then he will feel secure. Okay, no, Baba, no problem at all. Now I have got 100 crore of rupees. I can feel secure. Dr. Rohit is smiling. Dr. Narendra is also smiling because, of course, what I have told might be a good thing, but Dr. Rohit, you know it very well that we might not have 100 crore rupees in our bank account. At least through salary. If you go for a startup, if you go for another business, that is a different story. But Narendra sir, you know it very well that we wouldn't be having 100 crore of rupees in our bank account through salary income at least. So now the question arises, how we can have security in our life? Because Narendra sir, you will agree with me that it is a human credence that the first they go for the security, then they think of prosperity. Every human being first wants security. So how we can have security, particularly middle class, salary class person? So for that, Dr. Rohit, I will tell you 3 things you must do in your life when you start your career. This I am not saying to Honorable Vice Chancellor sir. This I am not saying to Narendra sir, because they are already very senior there. But young people like Dr. Rohit, I want to tell you one thing, 3 things for which will give you security. But again, I minded, these 3 things will give you security only, no prosperity. They might not be connected to your prosperity. That is why I am first talking about the security. First thing you should do in your life, my dear friend, and if you have not done, kindly think it very seriously and take decision quickly. Every earner must have adequate life insurance cover. Narendra sir, we must have taken life insurance. Honorable Vice Chancellor have also taken life insurance cover. But unfortunately, most of us, the life insurance cover is token only, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 30 lakhs. Narendra sir, it is grossly inadequate. Firstly, we should understand why we should take life insurance cover. Dr. Rohit, you know it very well that life is pretty uncertain. Today I am talking to you, but I am not sure about tomorrow. Nobody is sure about tomorrow. Of course, we may live for next 100 years, but even for tomorrow, we are not sure. And this feeling and this fear always in our mind, not only in my mind, but also in the mind of my family members, that everything is going well today. But if something happens to me and I am not available to them tomorrow, what will happen to them? How will they manage their monthly expenses? How will they manage the education of the children? How they will manage their other family obligations? This fear always remains in our mind, Dr. Rohit. And to take care of that fear and to overcome that fear, we should take adequate life insurance cover. Because if something happens to me, Dr. Rohit, at least my family should get an adequate amount on which they can not only manage their monthly affairs for a period to come, but also take care of the education of the children and other family obligations. But unfortunately, we take life insurance cover as a token only. 5 lakh, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs. Dr. Rohit, it is inadequate. That is why I am sharing a thumb rule to you. A person should have life insurance cover of not less than 10 times of their annual income. So, suppose Dr. Rohit, your annual income is 20 lakhs. Then ideally speaking, you should have life insurance cover of not less than 2 crore rupees. Have you taken, Dr. Rohit, of that level of insurance cover? I don't think so. That is why the first request I am making to all the young participants, particularly those are in 30s and 40s, kindly think that they have taken adequate life insurance cover. And in my time, and in Honorable Vice Chancellor will agree with me, in our time, sir, there were 2 insurance products available in the market, that is money back and endowment. They were not true insurance product, my dear friends. They were saving linked insurance product. But one thing we have to understand very carefully, that insurance is not an investment. But Dr. Narendra, you know it very well that in our country, insurance is also sold as insurance product, investment product, which it is not. The purpose of insurance is totally different, that in case something happens to me, my family will get an adequate amount, on which they can manage themselves. That is why nowadays a very good insurance product is available, Dr. Rohit, in your days today, which were not available at least in my time and the time of Honorable Vice Chancellor. And the product name is term insurance, TERM, term insurance. It is a very good product. It is a very good product where you can have an adequate life insurance cover by paying a paltry sum of money every month. If your age is 30, Dr. Rohit, then you can have a life insurance cover of 1 crore rupees by paying a monthly premium of hardly 600 rupees or 700 rupees. And Dr. Rohit, you will agree with me that this every person can afford. That is why my request is kindly think of taking adequate life insurance cover, and term insurance, for at least to me, it's a good product available for the market for young people like you. One more thing is here, Dr. Narendra knows it very well, that insurance premium is directly connected to our age. Early you take, lesser will be the premium. So kindly don't keep deferring the decision of taking life insurance cover. Consider it, all the aspects, all the options available before you, but then take a decision and take adequate life insurance cover. This is the first request for security I am requesting Dr. Rohit to you. Second request is kindly take adequate health insurance cover. And Dr. Rohit, some people get confused. I have taken life insurance cover. Why I should take health insurance cover also? But Narendra sir knows it very well. Both are different things, totally different things. Insurance, life insurance cover serves a different purpose, and health insurance serves a different purpose. I don't know how much medical facility your university is giving to you, but normally, Dr. Narendra, it is grossly inadequate, normally. More so, when medical emergency arises with me or in my family, and we are required to rush to the hospital, and Dr. Narendra, we all know it very well. Unfortunately, of course it is, but it is a fact of today that the governmental health system is not up to mark. That is why we will be forced to go to the private hospitals. But there they charge exorbitantly, sir. If a person is required to be hospitalized for 10, 12, 15 days, they might raise a bill of more than 10 lakhs. From where that money will come? If my employer doesn't give me, then either I will have to take my deposit, withdraw and pay the bill, or take some temporary loan from the family or friends. Both are painful. So avoid that thing. I am requesting all the participants kindly consider taking adequate health insurance cover. And the purpose of health insurance cover is that in case any medical emergency happens to me because of any illness, sudden illness or some accident, and I am required to be hospitalized or take treatment, all expenses of the hospital will be directly paid by the insurance company to the hospital. I will go to the best hospital, get the best treatment, come recovered home without paying anything. That is the purpose of adequate health insurance cover. And nowadays, a very unique health insurance cover policy is available by Dr. Rohit in the market. That is called floater health insurance, FLOATER, floater. It is also called umbrella health insurance cover. And what is the uniqueness of this health insurance cover, Dr. Narendra, is that when I take this cover, I have got the leverage to include my spouse, my kids, or even my parents in the same policy. So in the one singular health insurance cover that is under floater policy, all members of the family are covered. And if any medical emergency arises with any member of the family and they are required to be hospitalized, all their expenses will be directly paid by the insurance company to the hospital. That is the purpose of health insurance cover. And here again, we should take adequate life insurance cover. Dr. Rohit, if you are in metros, then ideally you should take a health insurance cover of around 25 lakhs to 30 lakhs. But if you are in 2-tier or 3-tier cities, then 15 to 20 lakhs health insurance cover would be broadly okay. So kindly take adequate health insurance cover. Now, the third thing I am requesting to all the participants, and I again just asked Dr. Rohit. Dr. Rohit, you have been very lucky that your jobs continued. Honorable Vice Chancellor was very kind enough to continue with all the staff. But at the same time, you are well aware that lakhs of people had lost jobs during pandemic. Lakhs of people have got substantial reduction in their salaries and income. Businesses were closed. Professions were closed. Lakhs of people have passed through a very, very tough time. When we talk to them, they will narrate their stories, how they have passed through that tough time. And this pandemic has not yet gone, my dear friend. It is still on, and it may continue for years together, as some scientists are suggesting, or a new virus may come in future. That is why I am requesting all the young participants like Dr. Rohit, kindly have an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs with them. Of course, Dr. Narendra will ask why we should have this emergency fund. Dr. Rohit, if some financial stress can come in your life in future, my job goes for temporarily, or I get reduction in the salary, at least I am able to manage my family affairs for 9 months to 1 year. That is the purpose of having an emergency fund for the family. But one thing, Dr. Rohit, we all know that 5 to 7 lakh is not a small amount for all of us. It is a good amount. But we can develop it over a period of time, maybe 3 years, maybe 5 years. But once we have this emergency fund in place, we have to make a promise with ourselves, taking our family into confidence, that we will never use this emergency fund in future for any other purpose except for emergencies. That commitment and promise we have to develop with ourselves. So the third thing I am requesting is kindly develop an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs. Dr. Rohit, these 3 things will provide you security, mental and financial security. So kindly consider these things first, because as I just mentioned, I feel security is more important than prosperity. Now I come into the second aspect of the money, that is prosperity. And Dr. Rohit, just tell me, as you just mentioned, I asked you and you mentioned the salary is your main source of income for all of us. And what we do with the salary, Dr. Rohit, a majority of our salary goes into taking care of our monthly expenses, regular expenses. But still, Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, knows it very well. Indians have got a unique thing in their blood, that is in our DNA, Dr. Narendra. And that is that whatever we earn, we try not to spend all the money. We try it very sincerely. And the money which we don't spend out of our regular income, Dr. Narendra, we call it savings, bachat. So we are all savers. Dr. Narendra is well aware that Indians are still one of the best savers in the world. As a community, as a citizens. So we save the money, but 2 very basic and important things I wish to tell to Dr. Rohit with regard to saving. Dr. Rohit, we do save. You must also be saving something, but we are casual about the saving. Casual in the sense, this month Dr. Rohit might be saving 10,000. Next month it might be 12,000. Third year it might be 5,000. Fourth year it might be even 0. So we are casual. The 2 things I am requesting to all the young participants like Mr. Deepak Mishra and Dr. Rohit, kindly identify an amount which you can comfortably save out of your income. Dr. Narendra, I am not prescribing anything 20%, 30%, 40%. Let it be with them only. Suppose Dr. Rohit said that my monthly salary is 50,000 and my income, my expenses are around 40,000. Then what Dr. Rohit is saying is that he can save 10,000. Then my request, Dr. Rohit, is very simple but emphatic to you. Kindly save this 10,000 upfront. First, you take away the 10,000, then whatever remains, you manage your affairs. It is tough, Dr. Narendra, but it is not impossible. Of course, tough, because temptation will always be there. But it is no, but Dr. Rohit, you will have to do it for the sake of your future well-being. You will have to do it for the sake of your future prosperity. So kindly identify an amount and then religiously save that amount, come what may. Come what may, I will save this amount. This is the first request I want to make, Dr. Rohit. And second request is, kindly keep increasing your saving minimum by 10% every year. And Dr. Rohit, again, it is possible. How it is possible? Dr. Narendra will give you increment, will give you some new allowances, will give you some increase in your income every year. So with the increase in income, we must increase our saving as well. And ideally, it should be 10,000 or 10% every year. Suppose this year, Dr. Narendra, and I through Dr. Narendra, through you, I am addressing to all the young participants. I am not confined to you. Other participants should not take it that way. I am talking to Dr. Rohit only. Through him, I am talking to all the young participants. For Dr. Rohit, suppose this year you are saving 10,000, next year it should be 11,000 a month. And third year it should be 12,100. And again, Dr. Narendra knows it very well. It is tough, but not impossible. And my dear friends, nothing will come to us without some sacrifice. We all know it very well. That is why we have to be prudent and take out this call that come what may, I will save this amount and keep increasing saving every year by 10%. Two things, and I'm saving about the investment. And Dr. Rohit, these two things are going to change your life forever if you follow this practice in your life. I can promise you. So kindly consider these two things about your about savings at the first stage. Now the second question arises, Dr. Rohit, what we should do about the saving we are making every month? What we should do? The first option available to me, and I might be doing a full person like me can only do, is that what I am doing, unfortunately, I am saving the amount religiously every month, but what I am doing, I am taking out that money from my bank account and putting at home every month. After counting the currency, every month 10,000, or just leaving that amount in my bank account. This is grossly injustice, my dear friend. It is injustice not only to yourself, but to your family, and Dr. Narendra knows it very well, to our country as a whole. Kindly never do this. Then naturally, Dr. Rohit will ask, sir, then what to do? My dear friends, we have to put our savings, number one, into acquisition of some assets, value of which will increase in future. Number one, putting our savings into acquisition of some assets, value of which will increase in future. Or number two, putting our savings into some financial instrument, Mr. Prashottama, which will give us regular and periodical return in future. So this is the putting savings into acquisition of some assets or in financial instrument. What we call it, sir? Dr. Narendra sir knows it very well. It is called investment. So saving is the first step, my dear Dr. Rohit, and investment is the second step. And we must invest our savings. It is a must if you want to be prosper. Saving is the first step and investment is the second step. And they are complement to each other. If we don't save, what we will invest? And if we save and don't invest, and what is the purpose of saving? So kindly understand it very carefully that we should first be saver and then we must be investor. And we all know, Narendra sir knows it very well, that we are all investors also. Whoever is earning somewhere, putting their money in one or other form in some other instrument or product. So we are all investors. But Narendra sir, one thing you might not agree with me. I know you will not agree with me, but that is a fact of our middle class, salary class life. What is that, sir? Most of the middle class, salary class person, despite their sincere efforts in saving and investment, Narendra sir, they just remain money accumulators in their life. they don't become wealth creators. And my Dr. Rohit, prosperity will come only through wealth creation. Kindly understand it very carefully. These are two very important things I am sharing with you. Most of us just remain money accumulators, Purushottama sir. We don't become wealth creators. But the prosperity will come only through wealth creation, or only through wealth creation. Now, so we should first understand what is the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. And for that, Dr. Rohit, again, I will kindly permit me to take your name. I will take your name in an example I am sharing with all the participants. And the example is very simple, my dear Dr. Rohit. And the example is bank fixed deposit. And Narendra sir, why I am taking this example? Because everybody knows about the bank FD. Even the student, your students are also aware about the bank FD, what bank FD is. So what is bank? That is why I am taking an example of bank FD. Suppose Dr. Rohit, you are having 1 lakh rupees with you, and you go for the 1 year bank FD with a good bank. And Dr. Rohit, you are well aware that interest rate, the present interest rate on FD is around 6%. Around 6. Am I right, sir?
Yes, sir.
It is around 6%. So you go for the 1 lakh bank FD for 1 year. After 1 year, when I myself and Dr. Narendra meet you and just ask you, Dr. Rohit, what happened to your FD? Dr. Rohit is happy and he is smiling. What he says, sir, I have earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest income. Am I right, Mamta ma'am? What he says, that I have earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest, and he's happy. He's happy. I have earned 6,000 rupees, bank has given back my 1 lakh rupees. When I just asked Dr. Narendra, Dr. Rohit, are you right? Then Dr. Rohit might say, yes, what is wrong with you asking this question? Sir, I am absolutely right. You can see my passbook, there is an entry of 6,000 rupees in my bank account. That is why bank has given me 6,000. Dr. Rohit, you are right, but you are not right. Why? Because while analyzing return on your FD, which is also an investment, you simply ignore two most important things which we must not ignore, Dr. Rohit, mind it. And what these factors are? The first and foremost factor is inflation, mehengai. Dr. Rohit, we talk about the inflation right from morning to evening with our colleagues, with our family members, all the time. अरे भाई महंगाई बढ़ रही है, खर्चे कम करो, आज पेट्रोल का दाम बढ़ गया, आज इसका दाम बढ़ गया. We talk this every day, but we simply ignore while analyzing return on us. So what is inflation, Dr. Rohit? You might be aware what, simply speaking, inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. That is, am I right, Narendra sir? Inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. So suppose when Dr. Rohit had FD of 1 lakh rupees for 1 year, the inflation rate has been 5%. Dr. Rohit, what does it mean? It simply means that last year when you had 1 lakh rupees, whatever you could have purchased from that 1 lakh rupees or have availed some services, would you be availed to same services or same item goods after 1 year at 1 lakh rupees, sir? No. Would it be possible?
No.
It will not be possible. And suppose the inflation rate has been 5%, what does it mean? It simply means that after 1 year, Dr. Rohit will need to pay for the same item, same goods, and same services, not 1 lakh rupees, but 1,05,000 rupees. Am I right? Yes, if the inflation rate has been 5%. Now you have said me, yes. Now you see the repercussion, my dear friend. Out of 6,000, you earned 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. Right, sir? Out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. And still Dr. Rohit is happy. He said, no problem, sir. I still have 1,000 with me. Yes, my dear. But then again, one more factor is there, Dr. Rohit. That is taxability on return or income. Dr. Narendra knows it very well. Most of the income and return, we need to pay income tax. And as per present proposition, Dr. Rohit, 6,000 you earn as bank interest will have to be reflected as income in your income tax return. And if you don't reflect it, my dear friend, you might get a notice from the income tax department. Because of technology, all such information is automatically available. Dr. Narendra knows it very well that before 15, 20, 25 years, such income people will not include in their, अरे बाबा कौन income tax वाला मेरे घर पे लेने आएगा, छोड़ो ना. But nowadays, Dr. Rohit, because of technology, all such information is automatically available to income department. So we can't avoid it. So suppose you are in 20% bracket. What does it mean? On 6,000, you will need to pay income tax at the rate of 20%, that is 1,200. So now you see the proposition, Dr. Rohit. You earned 6,000 and you are very happy. But in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 had been eaten by the inflation and 1,200 you paid as income tax. Did you get anything in reality, Dr. Rohit? No, rather 200 rupees has gone out of your pocket. So if our investment are like this only, where we earn simple notional return, no real return, we are sheer money accumulator, my dear friend. You must understand it very carefully. And what is the definition? What is the formula of real return? Real return equal to notional return minus inflation minus tax liability, simply speaking. And suppose I take this example forward. Suppose we presume, Dr. Rohit, that the interest rate is 8%. In that scenario, Dr. Rohit will get 8,000 as interest income. Suppose keeping inflation 5%, out of 8,000, 5,000 will be eaten by the inflation, but there remain 3,000. Even on 8,000, he will need to pay 20% income tax, that is 1,600. But even after that, there will remain 1,400, my Dr. Rohit. That 1,400 is your real income. So kindly mind it. Unless and until we earn some real return on our investment, we are sheer money accumulators. Because only real return is going to create wealth for you. Mind it. This also we should be understood very carefully. So formula again, real return, I repeat, because it is a very important formula. We must understand real return equal to notional return minus inflation minus tax liability. Now, why we are money accumulator, Narendra sir? This is a very valid question come to all our mind. Why most of the middle class, salary class person are money accumulators? Why it is so? Sir, there is reason. And reason is not outside somewhere, Dr. Rohit. The reason lies in our mind. It is deep rooted in our mind. And what is that? Narendra sir knows it very well. Most of the middle class, salary class person don't want to take risk. अरे बाबा रिस्क की बात मत करो हमसे. हम रिस्क नहीं लेंगे. हमारा ब्रॉन एंड ब्रॉटअप ही ऐसा हुआ है, हमें समझाया गया रिस्क लेनी नहीं लाइफ में. We have to play safe. ऐसा कहा जाता है हमें हमेशा. So we don't want to take a risk. But my dear friend, Dr. Rohit, in most of the investment, except some governmental saving schemes, which we will discuss afterwards, risk is there. तो हमें रिस्क लेनी नहीं है तो हम वेल्थ क्रिएट नहीं कर पाएंगे. That's why I want to tell you. मैं कभी भी नहीं कहता ब्लाइंड रिस्क लीजिए. लेकिन डॉक्टर रोहित, most of the investment products have got risk component inbuilt in them. Some degree of risk will always be there. In some product, risk might be high. In some product, it might be moderate. In some products, it might be minimum, but risk will be there. So kindly first accept, young participants, like Dr. Rohit, that in most of the investment, risk is there. We should accept it, because if we accept, Dr. Narendra, only then the next question will come, how we can manage our risk. Naturally, this question will naturally come in your mind. Why risk is there is how we can manage it. Yes, my dear friends, we can manage our risk. But Dr. Narendra knows it very well, my dear Dr. Rohit. Risk can be managed, risk can be minimized, but risk can never be zero. There will always be some degree of risk, maybe some high risk, maybe some moderate risk, maybe some minimum risk, but risk will always be that. So we can't make risk zero, but at the same time, we can minimize it and we can manage it. How? Naturally, then next question will be how? Yes, my dear participants, we all can manage risk. We all can minimize your risk by a simple 2-word formula I am sharing with all of you. Very simple formula. And Dr. Narendra might laugh at me. कि सर ये क्या बात कर रहे हैं, बड़ा साधारण simple formula बता रहे हैं, because he knows it very well. But that formula is very important, only 2-word formula. But it is going to change your life, Dr. Rohit. But just writing the formula on paper is not going to change anything. This formula has to be put in practice in your investment decision. Only then there will be some change. And what is the formula? If you want, you can note it down. Very simple formula. First, I put it in Hindi and then in English. सोच कर समझ कर निवेश कर. Think, understand and invest. Think, understand and invest. Dr. Rohit, I have used 2 words. First word is think and second word is understand. And third word is invest. What we have to think? We have to think 2 things about ourselves. We have to think 2 things about ourselves. First thing is, what is my risk appetite? What is my risk-taking capacity? What is my risk tolerance? It is one and same thing. And second is, what is the time horizon of investment? These 2 things we have to think about ourselves. The first thing, risk appetite. Dr. Rohit, Dr. Narendra sir knows it very well. Every individual has got different risk appetite. Every individual has got different one. Dr. Narendra has got different one. Dr. Rohit has got different one. Dr. Jitendra sir has got different one. Mr. Deepak Mishra. Because our income is different. Our family structure is different. Our family obligations are different. Everything is different. So every individual has got different risk appetite. So one thing's come out of it, which we all do. Dr. Rohit, listen it carefully. Normally what happens, most of our middle class, salary class decisions are simply taken when others are investing somewhere. Dr. Rohit come to the chamber of Dr. Narendra. He is filling up some form. Dr. Rohit just asks, sir, what you are doing? Dr. Narendra says, I'm investing, it is a very good scheme. I am investing some of my money in that same scheme. Dr. Rohit knows it very well. Narendra sir is a very smart investor. He knows much about the finance. Then what Rohit will normally say, sir, I also get some surplus money. I want to invest. Kindly bring get the form for me also. It is a blunder we all do. It is a blunder, my dear friend, we all do. Because Dr. Narendra has got different risk appetite. That product he is investing might be good for him, but it is not sure whether it will be good for you as well. So kindly never follow others while taking investment decisions. This is the first request I want to tell you. Because we have got different risk appetite. And one more thing, Dr. Narendra knows, sir, that risk appetite of individual is also not a permanent feature. It keeps changing with the time and age. It is not that I don't have identical risk appetite for my whole life. No, it will keep changing. And for that, I am sharing you one new idea, Dr. Rohit, that is division of your active life. Active life simply means when I start earning and we get retired. And normally, Dr. Rohit, it is from 25 years to 60 years, normally. And normally, Dr. Narendra sir, a person start earning around 25, maybe 26, maybe 24, but around 25 and get retired around 60. So the period between 25 to 60 is your active life. Please divide this active life into 3 phases. One phase is from 25 to 40. Second phase is from 40 to 55. And third phase is beyond 55. And Dr. Rohit, you are very lucky. You mean not only you, young participant like you. I'm not saying that Narendra sir is not lucky, but I'm putting emphasis on you. You are very lucky, Dr. Rohit, because this is the golden period of your life. 25 to 40 is the golden period of your life. Kindly save as much as you can because you have started earning, but your liabilities are relatively lesser. Relatively lesser. You might not be married, even married, no children, even children, very small children. So your liabilities are relatively smaller. So kindly save as much as you can in this phase of life. Secondly, put your saving into the investment product with the sole object of earning maximum real return. I will not again redefine the real return. The sole purpose of investment of yours should be to earn maximum real return on investment, even by taking some calculated risk. Narendra sir, Dr. Rohit can take risk because he has got age huge plus side. He has got still 25, 30 years to go. If something goes wrong with in investment, you can rectify it. You can correct your mistake, but I can't. That luxury I don't have now. So, Dr. Rohit, you should save as much as in your life, in this phase of life. Then your whole purpose should be invest your savings into the best investment product where you earn maximum real return, and you ought to take some risk, but not blind risk, but calculated risk. Only calculated risk. You should think of taking calculated risk. So in this phase of life, I again repeat, Dr. Rohit and all young participants, this is the golden period of your life. Kindly make best use of it, because this period will never come, my dear friend. It will never come. You might repent when it's gone, but it is gone. I can repent, but you can't, because you are living in this phase of life. Second phase of life, Dr. Rohit, is 40 to 55. In that phase of life, Narendra sir, liabilities started growing up. Your children started growing up. A lot of other things are happening in your life. A lot of other milestones are coming in your life. So in this phase of life, we should continue to have focus on the real return, but we should also keep an eye on the liquidity aspect of the money. Because in this phase of life, Narendra sir, we will need money at different intervals in our life. So apart from keeping an eye on real return, we should have an eye on the liquidity aspect of the money. And when the third phase, we enter in the third phase, Dr. Rohit, our thinking automatically changes. Then what my thinking becomes, sir? I can compromise on the return aspect, but I can't compromise on the safety aspect of the money, which I have accumulated from 25 years to 55 years. So my thinking automatically changes, Narendra sir. In that phase of life, I might not go for the higher real return. My sole purpose would be to save the money which I have accumulated from 25 years to 55 years. I can compromise on the return aspect, but I can't compromise on the safety aspect of the money. So, my dear friends, kindly take your investment decision according to your different phases in your life. Secondly, the second we have to think about it, that is time horizon of investment. And Dr. Rohit, unfortunately, most of the middle class, salary class person don't give any credence to the time horizon of investment. Because Narendra said, typically what happens, whenever I get money, I invest it. I invest it. But time horizon of money is very important, my dear friends, because we will need money in our life, not in one go, sir, not in one time, but at many times in our life. That is why time horizon of investment is very important. And here again, Dr. Rohit, I just give you one simple request. Would you be able to spare 1 hour for me next Sunday at Dr. Rohit? Would you be able to spare 1 hour for me next Sunday?
Yes, sir.
Don't worry, I'm not coming to your home.
No problem if you come also, sir.
My request is very simple. kindly request your all family members to be with you.
Sure, sir.
Sit down with them. Have a pen and paper. On the paper, make 3 columns. First column, second column, and third column. In the first column, my dear friend, you kindly note down what are the milestones in your life. And Narendra sir, what are the common milestones in middle class, salary class life? Marriage is the first milestone. Then after marriage, birth of the children. Naturally, children come in our life, celebration. Then third might be admission of the children in a good public school. Fourth might be construction or purchase of a house for the family. Naturally, every family will have their own, like to have their own house. Then purchase of the 4-wheeler, if you have not done so far. Then vacation has also become a milestone nowadays, Narendra sir, which was not in our time. Every family will push you hard. Take us out of the Karnataka, go to the Rajasthan, go to Maharashtra, go to Northeast, go to out of country. It is very natural nowadays. Every family wishes. So vacation has also become a milestone nowadays, which was not in, at least in my time. Then after some years, your children are grown up. The next important milestone comes in, my dear friend, is professional and higher education of the children. That is again a very important milestone. And once education is there, Dr. Rohit, then marriage with children. Marriage with children, then next milestone. And last milestone, my dear friend, it is very important, is living life in retirement after superannuation, because that is also very important milestone, my dear friend. And that is a unique milestone in the sense, Narendra sir, that people wouldn't be having pension now. Some government, central government or state government people were very lucky having pension, but it is no more available to in any governmental institution even today. So how we survive in the retirement life, sir? We live in the retirement life. Typically, normally what we do, we accumulate money, including the money we get on a superannuation. We put that money into some investment mode, deposit it somewhere, get some regular return, and we survive. This is the normal course of living retirement life. So kindly put the, Dr. Rohit, kindly put the milestone in the first column, and you want to add, you can add on. I am giving you leverage. If you want to add anything in leverage, you add on. In the second column, against each milestone, kindly put the period when it is likely to happen. Suppose you say, I am not married and I am likely to be married after 2 years. Put it 2 years against the marriage in the second column. Likewise, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 25 years, 30 years. Put the period also. That flow will come like that only. In the third column, which is very important, my dear friend, kindly put the money you will need for each milestone. That is very important. Suppose you say that I am not married. I am likely to be married after 2 years. All marriage expenses will be taken care of my parents, but still honeymoon package will have to be borne by me only. So honeymoon package at least you will require. So suppose you say that I will need honeymoon package that will cost around 5 lakhs. Put it 5 lakhs against marriage. But my dear friend, you know it very well, it will not be 5 lakhs. Today you are thinking marriage or honeymoon package for 5 lakhs, but when you will actually go after 2 years, my dear friend, it might go up to 5.50 lakhs because of inflation. So factor in inflation also in the money you putting against each milestone. 2 important milestones I am discussing here, my dear friends. First is higher education and professional education of children. Narendra sir, a MBA degree presently costs around 20 lakhs for 2 years from a good reputed institution, around 20 lakhs. Dr. Rohit, can you imagine what it will cost after 25 years when your children will go for education? Have you ever thought of it? It will be not less than 2 crore rupees, my dear friend. That MBA degree, which is costing around 2 lakhs rupees or 20 lakhs rupees, will cost not less than 2 crore rupees after 20-25 years. And even you want to say send your kids out of country for higher education, cost might be even higher. So suppose you have got 2 children, you will need not less than 4 crore rupees for their higher education. Put it 4 crore rupees. Normally we will have 2 children. Then marriage again not less than 1 crore rupees for the both the children. Last is retirement plan. Dr. Rohit, listen it very carefully. Suppose you say that today your monthly expenses are around 30,000. You say that I am managing my affair with 30,000 and your age is 30. After 30 years, my dear friend, when you become 60, can you imagine what your monthly requirement will be for normal expenses? For the same level of comfort, same standard of living, my dear friend, Dr. Rohit, you will need not less than 2 lakh rupees because of inflation. So it will be around 25 lakhs a year at the age of 60 when you get retired, around 25 lakhs. So what retirement, because ultimately we will survive only on the return of the retirement corpus. So what should be our retirement corpus, my dear friend? Note it down. It should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. Minimum 20 times. Suppose your annual expenses are 25 lakhs, my dear Rohit, then you will need not less than 5 crore rupees as retirement corpus. Because we presume that, Dr. Narendra, that the return will be around 5%. So 5% will be return will be around 25 lakhs. So we should have retirement corpus of 5 crore rupees. And it is the minimum, Dr. Rohit. Ideally, it should be 30 times. That is around 75 crore to 7.50 crore to 8 crore. Because inflation will also be factor when you become 70 or 80. So you should have around 5 crore rupees for your retirement plan only. Now, Dr. Rohit, I'm making you scary. Kindly make the total of the loss column. And you will be surprised. A normal middle class, salary class person who is 30 today, Dr. Narendra, he or she will need around 10 to 12 crore rupees in their life for milestones only. And sir, I have excluded the normal expenditure from 30 years to 60 years, normal monthly expenditure. That I excluded. From where that money will come, my dear friends? From where that money come? Dr. Rohit might be very lucky going to KBC, Amitabh Bachchan, winning 7 crore rupees. But then how many of us will win? 1 out of 20 lakh, 30 lakh, 40 lakhs only. So from where that money will come? That money will come, my dear Dr. Rohit, only through your savings and putting your saving into investment mode. So kindly be serious about your saving right from that month you start earning. If you have lost some period, 1 year, 2 years, forget it. But today, from today onward, this month onward, you should become very serious about the savings and investment aspect of your money. And this chart which we have just made, Dr. Rohit, first column, second column, and third, what is called? Dr. Narendra sir knows it very well. It is called financial plan. This chart is called financial plan because once we have financial plan, Dr. Rohit, now we are broadly clear which money we will need at what time. So time horizon of money and the quantum of money is broadly clear to us. And I personally feel, Dr. Rohit, every earner must have financial plan. Every earner, may it be business class, may be service class, every earner must have a financial plan. And financial plan is not a rocket science, my dear friends. It is damn easy. As we just discussed, you kindly sit with your family, discuss each and every aspect of your life, and then give the shape to this fund plan. Kindly, Dr. Rohit, that is why I wanted 1 hour from your side. Kindly don't delay it. Next Sunday, have a financial plan. Because once you have a financial plan, the purpose and the quantum of money you will need is broadly clear to you. And Dr. Rohit, psychologists say that individuals who have defined targets in their life, objects in their life, there are brighter chances of achieving them. So kindly draw your financial plan and start working on it. This is very, very important. I'm requesting to all of you. One more thing here relating to investment is that is called rule of compounding. Dr. Rohit, rule of compounding is eighth wonder of the world. It is eighth wonder of the world because people generally don't give so much importance to it. But Narendra sir knows it very well that rule of compounding is a magic. It is eighth wonder of the world. And what is rule of compounding in investment? Very simply speaking, you have to make a promise with yourself, Dr. Rohit. That promise is very simple but very tough, of course. What is promise? I promise myself that whenever and whatever interest or return or income I will earn on my investment, I will never use that income for my personal expenses, for my vacation or for my other obligation. Never. What I will do, I will simply club that return or income with my continuing or regular investment and put it into investment mode. Simply speaking. So you have to make a promise with you, whether you earn 10,000 rupees or 10 lakhs rupees as return or income or your investment. You have to make a promise that you will never use this income or return for your personal obligation, family obligation, vacation, anything. Come on. This is the most important thing. So kindly follow rule of compounding in your investment philosophy. So far, my dear friend, we have discussed about the security aspect. Dr. Rohit, if I again recapitulate what we have discussed so far, we have so far discussed about the security aspect. That is life insurance cover, health insurance cover, and emergency fund. Then we discuss about the savings, importance of savings. Then we discuss conversion of saving into investment, how we can invest. Then risk management, how we can manage our risk. Then risk management. Then we discuss about the financial plan. And lastly, we discuss about the rule of compounding. Dr. Rohit, you might be angry with me, sir. You have taken so much of time on these normal things. But I personally feel, my dear participant, these aspects are very, very important for your investment success. That is why I have taken much of your time in this aspect. So the second segment of my session will be very small, around 15-20 minutes more I will take, Dr. Rohit, wherein we will discuss what are the investment options available for the middle class, salary class person. Where we can invest, what are the options available for us? And the first option available for us, my dear Rohit, Dr. Rohit, is governmental saving schemes. The first option available for the middle class, salary class person is governmental saving scheme. And one of the most beneficial and very good governmental scheme, I personally feel, Dr. Rohit, is Public Provident Fund Account, PPF. Public Provident Fund Account. And my dear participants, and particularly young participants like Dr. Rohit, if you have not opened Public Provident Fund account so far, you have missed something, my dear friend. So again, I request you kindly, Public Provident Account. I don't know whether Dr. Narendra will agree with me or me. Every middle class, salary class person must have Public Provident Fund account. If you have not, it is not EPF, my dear friends. It is different. Public Provident Fund account is a Government of India saving scheme where any Indian citizen of the age of 18 or above, or even minors can open under guardianship, can open a Public Provident account with any bank or post offices, and preferably you should have PPF account in your bank where you are having your SB account, so that you can now link because of technology and directly transfer the amount. PPF account is a very good account where Government of India presently is giving 7.1% return. It is annual return is 7.1%. Minimum amount you can deposit in this PPF account is 500 rupees in a year to make it operational. And maximum amount you can deposit, Dr. Rohit, is 1.50 lakhs. You can't deposit more than 1.50 lakhs. And interest is compounding every year. Every year it is compounding on the 1st of April. And two very small things I wish to request to my Dr. Rohit. First is, try to deposit 1.50 lakhs in PPF account at the beginning of the financial year itself, if possible. because then you will earn interest for the whole year on 1.50 lakhs. But because of any reason you are not able to deposit 150 lakhs and you are depositing monthly or periodically, then one small thing you should do. Whenever you are depositing any money in the PPF account, my dear friend, deposit it before 5th of the month. Because if you deposit after the 5th of the month, Dr. Rohit, then you will not get return for that month, get return on interest on that month. So two very small things about PPF is try to deposit at the 1.50 beginning of the year. And second, if not possible, then deposit whenever you are depositing before 5th of the month. This account is for 15 years. Dr. Narendra knows it very well. But my dear friend, it can be extended for a period of 5 years, 5 years and 5 years. And I personally feel that you should continue with this scheme unless and until you need money. So kindly start the PPF account if you have not done so far and try to deposit 1.50 lakhs because it is exempt tax. It is triple scheme, my dear friends. Exempt, no tax at all. At any level. When you deposit the money, when you earn the interest, and when you get the final money, at no time there is no interest, and income tax deduction is also allowed under section 80C. Then second one is National Savings Certificate, NSC. And Narendra sir, I don't have time to give details of every scheme, but a participant can just note down and get the detail from the post office or on the websites. Second one is National Savings Certificate. Third one is Kisan Vikas Patra. Kisan Vikas Patra. And fourth one is, Madam is sitting behind Dr. Narendra. Madam, it is for you. If you have got girl child in your family and anyone who has got girl child in their family, very good scheme is there for the girl child is Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, very good scheme. Ma'am, if you have girl child at your home, it is a very good scheme. You must open an account in her name. Under Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, you can open it for the maximum 2 girl child in a family, and it can be opened before 10 years only, because if the girl child is more than 10 years, it can't be opened. It is a very good scheme, and the government of India has promised that it will give highest return in this, highest interest in this scheme. Presently, it is 7.60%, which no other government in this scheme. Very good scheme of the government of India. Then next one is investment in government security, Dr. Rohit. We can all, government also, Dr. Narendra knows it very well that government also keep raising loan from the public very regularly. Earlier it was difficult. To invest in government securities. But Dr. Rohit, you might have noticed last month, Honorable Prime Minister has started, inaugurated a website that is RBI Retail Central. RBI Retail Central, very good website. You kindly visit that website, get yourself registered, and you can regularly and periodically invest in government security through that website. That facility is now been available to the middle class, salary class person. Earlier it was not. Then third one is RBI also keep issuing bonds, taxable bonds and tax-free bonds, where we can invest. And the last one is Government of India undertaking, my Dr. Rohit, also get loan from the public by issue of debentures and bonds regularly. And nowadays, Government of India has institutionalized it, and Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. You can also, in all this information you can get on websites, my dear friends. I don't have time to go into the details, but you can have it. All these schemes are under the umbrella of governmental saving scheme. And my dear friend, what is the uniqueness of this? Madam, there is no risk at all. No risk at all. Whatever government is promising, my dear friend, it will give you back. When your scheme matures, government will give you money back. And Dr. Narendra, I personally feel that a normal middle class, salary class person should invest around 15 to 20% of their investment in governmental scheme. Broadly 15 to 20%, we should invest in governmental scheme. Now, all other options have got risk-minded. Risk-free investment only in governmental saving scheme. Now, second option is property or real estate. I am not an expert in property and real estate investment. Dr. Narendra might be an expert. Next time he can take a session for your staff members and colleagues. I don't have that expertise. But real estate, Dr. Narendra, it is a risky proposition. Firstly, we don't know how much appreciation of the property we'll have. And it is normally called illiquid assets. Illiquid in the sense it takes time to dispose it of. You can't dispose it of, you can't sell the property today if you want it. Then how much return you will get? Not certain. Then maintenance cost in real estate is also very high when you purchase a house and maintain it. A purchase of a house for the family is not a real estate investment, my dear minded. That is your family satisfaction. But more than that, if you want to invest, you can invest it. But in real estate, huge money is required for investment. Again, this is a peculiarity of real estate. You can't invest in real estate, Dr. Rohit, in 5 lakh or 10 lakhs rupees. You will need 50 lakhs, 70 lakhs, 1 crore rupees. So real estate is an option. I am giving you leverage. Whatever you want to invest, no prescription from my side, but it is an option I wanted to tell you. Third one is, and that too, I am addressing to the madam sitting behind Dr. Narendra. Third option is gold. And when I started speaking about gold, madam has got a different smile on her face. You can see her face. And not only madam, all female participants, whoever are with us today. Now, Are Baba, gold ki, what to talk about gold? As much gold as we should have, no problem at all. And this is a fact of our life, middle class, salary class life. Madam, till today, most of the middle class, salary class person were investing gold through in physical form only. Madam is going to jewelry shop, purchasing jewelry or purchasing biscuits. But nowadays, a new proposition has come, no option for all of you is available, which was not available earlier. Because when you go for the physical gold, ma'am, the cost is very high. When you put it at home, madam wouldn't be having sound sleep. Are Baba, a thief might come and take it away. Or if madam puts it in the locker, annual charges we will need to pay. And if we want to give it back to the jeweler, they will make you cut of 30%, 40% making charges. Now, other option is also available, madam, for you. That is digital gold, which was not available earlier, but now it is available. And for that, madam, for you only, I'm not limiting to you. It is for all. Government of India has started a very unique scheme in gold. That is sovereign gold bond scheme. Note it down, ma'am, and explore this. Sovereign gold bond scheme. Very good scheme of the government of India, where government is inviting you to purchase gold in digital form. Minimum purchase you can make it 1 gram gold. Maximum is 4 kg gold you can purchase. Online investment is also allowed, and when you go for online, Dr. Rohit, some discount is also allowed by the government to 50 rupees per gram, per gram. That discount is, but if because of any reason you are not able to purchase online, then offline also you can go to your bank. Most of the banks are operating this scheme as well. Government, there are 2 benefits government is giving you. First is 2.5% guaranteed return. Every 6 months, 2.5%. Suppose you invest 1 lakh rupees, then 2,500 rupees you will be given as a interest on it every year. And apart from that, ma'am, whatever the gold price appreciation is there, that will also be shared with you. Suppose today you purchase the gold at 50,000 and the scheme is for 8 years. And after 8 years, the price of the gold becomes 80,000 10 gram. Then the difference between 80,000 and 50,000 will also be given to you. So there are two benefits. One is interest of 2.5%. This is normally a saving rate interest. And second is appreciation or in the price of the gold will also be shared with you. The scheme is for 8 years, and you keep your if you keep your investment for 8 years, tax liability will be much lesser. Capital gain benefit will also be available. But if because of any reason you want to withdraw before 8 years, after 3 years you can sell your investment and you can get the money. But some tax liability might be there. So it is a very good scheme of the government of India. So kindly consider this because Dr. Rohit and ma'am sitting behind her, behind him are relatively very young. So 8 years is nothing for you. You can think of it. And apart from sovereign gold bond, one more ETF gold facility in mutual fund is also available. Extended traded fund golds. Mutual fund, you can also invest in extended fund gold. That is also there. And Dr. Narendra, I feel that a normal middle class, salary class person should have 5 to 7% of their investment in gold. Around 5 to 7% of their investment should be gold. And third and last option, fourth option is securities market. And Dr. Narendra, when I start about security market, 2-3 message come in the normally comes in the chat box. Are sir, ye satta baja rahi hai, ye speculation, and don't talk about this. We don't know anything about it. Somebody might have invested some money on the advice of some other, and then he might have lost that money or she. Then he will say, no, Baba, no. Security market, big no. Yes. This might be the experience of a good number of persons. Narendra sir knows it very well. Yes, sir. Security market is a riskier proposition. But then where was risk was not there? Sir, in property risk is there, in gold risk is there, and so is the case in case of security market. But one thing I wish to request you, at security market, Dr. Rohit has given 15% average return during last 15 years, which no other product has given. This you must understand, sir. 15% average return during last 35 years. Dr. Rohit, governmental scheme has given around 7.5% to 8.5% return during last 35 years. Property has given 7.5% to 9% return. Average, sir. Average I am talking to. Gold has given 6.5% to 7.5% return during the 5 years. But security market, my dear participant, has given 15% average return, which is the highest among the investment options. And Dr. Rohit, have you heard about the name Infosys? Infosys is a name from Karnataka only. Big name, world famous company. But Dr. Narendra knows it very well. When in 1995, first time when Infosys share was offered to the public, there were hardly takers, sir, because that was a new company at that time. But Dr. Narendra was very smart. And if Dr. Narendra had invested 10,000 rupees at that time and could have got 1,000 rupees shares, ma'am, can you imagine what 10,000 has become today? Of course, condition is that Dr. Narendra is still invested. He had not sold those shares. 10,000 Dr. Rohit has become 65 lakhs today. That is the potentiality of security market, what I am telling you. Of course, this is not a uniform norm that all such shares are like this only. In some share, people might have lost some money. But if you remain in the share market for longer period, I'm underlining the word longer period, that is minimum is 5 years. 99% people have got good return. Normally speaking. So share market is a riskier market. There are 3 aspects of the share market. One is primary market, second is secondary market, and third is indirect investment, that is mutual fund. And I don't have time. Dr. Narendra is again seeing his watch, and so am I. So I'm trying to, next time, Dr. Narendra, when you give me time, we will have a technical session on security market for your students.
Sure, sir. We'll do it.
We will have it. That will be purely technical session for your students to know about what security market is.
Sure, sir.
So the primary market and secondary market are direct investment mode in security market. But the third option, which I am talking about next 5 minutes, is mutual fund. It is an indirect way of investing into security market. And ma'am and Dr. Rohit, I can addressing to you for this. Mutual fund is indirect way of investing into security market, firstly. But one more thing you must understand. People do have perception that mutual fund is only security market. It is not like that. Mutual fund is beyond security market as well. Dr. Narendra, there are schemes in the mutual fund which will invest your money in government securities. There are schemes in the mutual fund which will invest your money in gold. There are schemes in the mutual fund which will invest your money in property and real estate now. Real estate trust is REITs. There are schemes in the mutual fund which will invest in security market. And there are schemes, madam, which will invest your money in international corporate as well. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, big names. If you want to invest in such big names sitting at your place, that facility mutual fund also give you. So mutual fund is not confined to security market, but of course, majority of the scheme of the mutual fund relates to security market. This is the first thing. Second thing about mutual fund is that in mutual fund, Dr. Narendra, schemes are available where risk is minimum. In mutual fund, schemes are available where risk are moderate. In mutual fund, schemes are available which have got high risk. And Narendra sir, in mutual fund, schemes are available which have got highest risk. So as per your risk appetite, mutual fund schemes are available for all categories of investors. Likewise, in mutual fund scheme, Narendra sir, schemes are available which will give you return for a week. In a week itself, you will get return. That is liquid fund or overnight funds. In mutual fund, schemes are there which will give you return in 1 month or 3 months or 6 months or 1 year or 5 year or 10 years. So according to time horizon of your investment, mutual fund schemes are also available. So for all categories of investment, different schemes of mutual funds are available. Only thing for you is to select the right scheme. That is the most important thing. In mutual fund, there are two major categories of schemes are available in security market. One is equity funds and second is debt fund. Kindly note it down. One is equity fund and second is debt fund. In equity fund, Dr. Narendra, your money will be invested into the equity shares of the corporates which are listed. And in debt fund, your money will be given as a loan to the corporate. Understand the difference very carefully. In equity fund, your money will be invested into the equity shares of the corporates. And in debt fund, your money will be given as a loan to the corporates. And sir, when your money is given as is invested into equity fund, we all know equity prices go up and down every day. So there is greater risk. In equity fund, risk is greater, but potentiality of getting higher return is also there, Narendra sir. So those who are young, like madam sitting behind you or Dr. Rohit, those who are young, those who can take risk, those who can invest for longer period, equity fund is relatively a better option for you. But people like Dr. Narendra, who can't take much risk now, debt fund category is available. In debt fund, Dr. Narendra, return is relatively lesser and predictable, because once you give, when we give the loan, the rate of return is by and large pre-decided. So in debt fund, return is predictable and risk is lesser. So those who don't want to take risk, those who are satisfied with the reasonable or lesser return, debt fund categories are available. So for Dr. Rohit, equity fund is the best bet. And for Dr. Narendra, well, I'm not talking individually, I'm talking about the risk profile. Debt fund is relatively a better proposition. In debt fund, there are a lot of categories. I don't have time to give details of each category: large cap, mid cap, small cap, flexi cap, sectoral fund, pharma fund, lot of other things. PSU funds are there. Next time when Dr. Narendra gives me time, we will have a dedicated session on mutual fund of 2 hours. Because it is such a vast subject, I can't cover in 15-20. I just giving you a basic idea, but next time we can discuss in detail. So in equity fund is suitable for the persons who are young, who can relatively take risk and who have longer time horizon of investment. Debt funds are available for the person who don't want to take much risk and who are satisfied with the reasonable risk. Debt fund. In debt fund also, there are a lot of categories: liquid fund, overnight fund, ultra short-term debt fund, short-term debt fund, medium-term debt fund, and then long-term debt fund. Lot of categories are there according to the time horizon of investment. There are 2 plans in mutual fund. One is direct plan and other one is regular plan. In direct plan, Dr. Rohit, you can invest in the mutual fund by visiting the website of the concerned AMC asset management company online itself. You simply go to the website, select the scheme, give the information, attach the documents, complete your KYC, and you are invested. It is called direct plan. But because of any reason you are not able to go on online or direct plan, then Dr. Rohit, other option is also available. That is called regular plan. In regular plan, you will need to take the services of your local mutual fund distributor, duly registered with MFI. They will come to you. They will bring you the application form. They will help you in filling the form. They will take documents from you. They will take check from you, and they will make your operational investment operational. But sir, Dr. Narendra, for all these services, definitely some fee or commission will be given to them. That is why in regular plan, return will always be lesser as compared to direct plan. Kindly understand it very carefully. Because in regular plan, third party is there who is helping you out in investment. In direct plan, no third person is there. So it is up to you to decide. Preferably, Dr. Rohit, you should go for the direct plan, because in longer run, it will make a difference of lakhs of rupees. For after 20, 25, 30 years, it will make a difference of lakhs of rupees. So direct plan and regular plan. Then one magic facility is available in the mutual fund. Dr. Rohit, kindly understand it very carefully. I am saying to Dr. Rohit and Madam sitting behind Dr. Narendra. That is SIP, Systematic Investment Plan. My dear friends, it is a magic for middle class, salary class person. And simply speaking, Dr. Narendra, SIP is nothing but a recurring account, a regular investment. Just like you are making, you open a recurring account with bank or post office, and you are investing regularly, particularly date. In SIP, what you are doing, you are investing certain amount every month on a particular date. Once you give the mandate, automatically on that date, every month money will be go out of your bank account and you will invest it, and next evening you will get the intimation that this much of money has been received and so much of unit has been invested. So SIP is a magic for middle class, salary class person, because over a period of time, Dr. Rohit, you can develop a huge corpus by investing very small amount periodically. Minimum amount you can invest through SIP, Dr. Rohit, is 500 rupees. Maximum, there is no limit. Madam sitting behind Dr. Narendra can invest 10 lakhs rupees a month if she can. No problem. So upper is the no limit, minimum limit is 500 rupees. I just give you one factual example, but I will not share the name of the mutual fund scheme, Dr. Rohit, because that will be unfair on my part, because that will be indirect marketing of that scheme. But of course, facts are there. And kindly understand these facts very carefully, Dr. Rohit. Dr. Rohit, understand these facts very carefully. One equity fund was started by a mutual fund company in 1995. Note these dates. One equity fund was started in 1995. And a smart investor like Dr. Narendra started an SIP of 10,000 rupees per month in 1995 itself. And he's continuously investing through SIP 10,000 rupees per month. Even till this month. Again, listen to this. Every month he's investing 10,000 through SIP from 1995 till today. Dr. Rohit, can you imagine how much that amount has become today? Can you imagine? No, I am just sharing you. 9.57 crore. 9.57 crores. Is it not a magic, Dr. Rohit? What I am saying here is two important things are there. Dr. Narendra started SIP and concluded with SIP every month. In this period, market might have gone down, might have gone up, but he never stopped SIP. This is the crux of the success. Never stop your SIP if you are a long-term investor, because market will always go up and down. And typically, Narendra sir, what happens when market goes up, people start investing. Arey baba, paisa बढ़ रहा है, फायदा हो रहा है. And when market go down, people get scary. Arey no. In March 2020, Narendra sir, when market melted down at 30,000, lot of my friends phoned me. Arey sir, what happened to this? I have lost this much of money. I simply asked them very simple questions. Do you have reasonable means to manage your affairs, family affairs? He said, no, that is not a problem. We are all middle class person. We are getting salary. Then I told, forget about where market is. Continue investing. Never stop your SIP. Or rather, that is the opportunity when you can invest more when market goes down. So once you start SIP, Dr. Rohit, never stop it till your target. And madam, now people have started more than one SIP. That is target-oriented SIP. Dr. Rohit started 5 SIP. One SIP for purchase of house. Second SIP for going on vacation after 5 years. Third SIP for higher education of children for 25 years. And fourth SIP for retirement plan. And nowadays, top-up facility in SIP is also available, Dr. Rohit. Suppose you started with 1,000 rupees. After 1 year, if you want, you can top it up to 2,000 rupees. Or after 5 years, up to 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees. So top-up facility is also available. So SIP is a magic for middle class, salary class person. But there is no guarantee. Again, I repeat, don't say that one fellow has come and that he once said this much magic as he had given. What I am saying, my dear friends, you have to be a long-term investor, and in which Dr. Rohit and madam sitting behind Dr. Narendra can be. You can be investor for a long term, 28, 25 years. And nowadays on the website, SIP calculators are available, my dear friends. Suppose Dr. Rohit says that I want 4 crore rupees for higher education of my children for after 25 years. Put it the target of 4 crore rupees, put it the period 25 years. SIP calculator will give you broad idea of what SIP you should start from today. So SIP is a better proposition for the middle class salary person to start in mutual fund. One other unique facility available in mutual fund is SWP. I've just talked about SIP. Now I am talking about SWP. SWP is systematic withdrawal plan. That was systematic investment plan. But I am now talking about SWP, systematic withdrawal plan. In systematic withdrawal plan, Dr. Narendra, is basically more useful for your retirement life. Suppose, Dr. Rohit, you have accumulated corpus of 5 crore rupees and now you are going retired next month. You can simply send a one-line mail to the mutual fund company where you have corpus. Next month onward, kindly keep transferring 2 lakh rupees per month in my bank account on first. Amount you would specify, maybe 2 lakh, maybe 1 lakh, maybe 5 lakh, whatever it may be. On your request, that mutual fund company will religiously transfer the amount every month in your bank account on first. So the first benefit will be, Dr. Rohit will be getting 2 lakhs rupees a month even after retirement, because salary will not be there now. So he can enjoy his life even after retirement as he was living. Second benefit, Dr. Rohit, is whatever corpus remain with them is continuously invested and you are earning return on it. So today, suppose your requirement is 2 lakh rupees when you are 60, Dr. Rohit. When you become 70, your requirement might go to 3 lakh rupees per month because of inflation. And if you go to 80, and Narendra said now most of the people are average life has gone up like anything in India. So we can even live up to 80. So if you live up to 80, then you will need 4 lakh rupees per month, Dr. Rohit. From where that money will come? That is why SWP is a good proposition, but for that, precondition is that you should have a huge corpus for your retirement life. I have a lot of things to share about the mutual fund, but I don't have time constant. Next time we will share when we do. Lastly, 2 things I wish to request. First request I want to make, Honorable Vice Chancellor, if he is there, and to Dr. Narendra. Sir, in our country, one malaise is there. That is called Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees. They very smart people in our country, they will come to you, they will promise you 15% return, 20% return, doubling your money in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. It will never happen, madam. Kindly mind it very carefully. It will never happen. They will simply take your money and one fine morning, they are not there. They will simply vanish. As a broad survey, Narendra sir, more than 10 lakhs crores of rupees have been lost in such bogus or schemes. So my request is very simple, Narendra sir and Honorable Vice Chancellor sir. Of course, you will not invest in it. Of course, Dr. Rohit will not. Who normally invests in those schemes, sir? Your maid servant, your driver, your peon, your milk vendor, your sabji wala, your taxi driver, because they don't know anything about it. They get a temptation. Oh, Baba, I will get 15%. My money will be double in 3 or 4 or 5 years. They invested. So, Dr. Narendra, I will request you with folded hand, kindly start a campaign, throw your students across your area and make as much people aware as you can that they should never invest their hard-earned money in such bogus scheme or Ponzi scheme or chit funds. If they don't have any idea, they simply put their money in bank or post office. At least their money will be safe. At least they might not be getting good return like mutual fund, but at least their money will be safe. So kindly start a campaign. And last thing, I am requesting through the madam sitting behind Dr. Narendra and through madam to all the participants. Madam, prosperity is your right. Every individual has got right to be prosper. Dr. Rohit, I might have born into a poor family. That is an incidental only. But to live as a poor and to die as a poor is a curse. And this curse, Dr. Narendra knows it very well. We can easily come over by thinking about savings and our investment, creating wealth and become prosperous. And we all can be prosper. This is why I will pray Almighty that we all should be prosper. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity. I will first like Dr. Narendra to give an observation about my session. Then we can go on for question answer session.
Yes, sir. So thank you very much, sir. Sir, it was a wonderful session. Actually, to be very honest with you, probably if I had received this talk and this information around 25 years ago, it would have been very nice, because as you said, we have certain milestones in our life, whether it is the marriage of my daughter, marriage of my children, education of my children. The point is as to how to go about savings. As you said, investment in mutual funds was not heard of in our days earlier. And investment in primary shares also was not there. But, and even as you said, with respect to chits, we are people of my age. We used to have this habit of investing in chits, and we have lost money in that. Forget about maid servants. People like me have lost money. So, and the role, I mean, especially what you said about the role of compounding, or rather the rule of compounding, that is something which is it is very akin to a miracle, but we understand it at a very late stage. People like Mr. Dr. Rohit and Lata Shivram, they have to inculcate, because as you said, sir, probably investing just around 2,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees or 1,000 rupees at a young age of around 22, when they start earning, by the time they reach 60, it would be a very huge amount. But that rule of compounding, especially when it comes to things like Ppf, or for that matter SIP, it plays a very important role. I keep on telling my own children that rule of compounding and the rule of 72, you call it a 72, right, sir? 72
yes.
Divided by the rate of interest as to when your money is going to get doubled.
Double.
That is something, it is a sort of a miracle, but we don't do it. The unfortunate thing is we have not done it, but our youngsters, especially Lata ma'am and Rohit, people like Lata ma'am and Rohit sir, can actually inculcate it right from day one. So, and along with that, sir, I have a humble request. We are thinking of including financial education in our, as a elective subject or as a regular subject. We would like you to actually address our teachers also, and we would like you to request you to actually come up with a sort of curriculum or a syllabus for this financial education, so that we have engineers on our campus, we have commerce students in our campus, we have medical students, we also have pharmacy students, a lot of students from various streams. But financial education is not taught as a regular subject. We feel that, I personally feel that the rule of compounding or the rule 72 and whatever you have told us throughout this lecture, throughout this talk, it has not as a lecture, because normally we consider this as a talk which is a very interactive one, and we feel that this talk is very going to be useful. And with respect to financial education as a subject, we request you to kindly give your good services in bringing up a sort of curriculum or a syllabi for that, so that it will be useful to the vast majority of the students. As a part of NEP also it will be there. We request you to kindly guide us in that sense. Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, I am at your disposal. Whatever initiative, whatever thinking you develop, I am at your disposal. Whatever way you want to associate me, I am with you. Always. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And Dr. Shankara Lingarwada Gowda sir was also with us right from the beginning. Dr. Sanjay Agrawal, can you kindly unmute him? I want his observation as well. Dr. Shankara.
Yes, sir. It is a very nice presentation, sir. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. If you liked it, so nice of you. Thank you. Now, any question? Dr. Uday, kindly unmute yourself. Dr. Sanjay, kindly unmute him. Dr. Uday.
Yes, you can unmute yourself, Dr. Uday, please. Uday Bhan Singh ji. Till then, there is one question from Ms. Kirindi, that who regulates mutual fund in India?
Mutual funds are regulated by Securities and Exchange Board of India, and kindly understand it very, very carefully. It is not a chit fund or Ponzi scheme. They are duly regulated, strongly regulated by SEBI. Each and every aspect of the mutual fund is regulated by SEBI, and rest assured, return of course can't be guaranteed, but there will not be manipulation from the mutual fund. That you can get assured.
Sir, Sanjay sir, I request you to please unmute Mr. Kiran. So Mr. Kiran is in charge of Q&A session. He has got few questions to be posted.
She can unmute. Ms. Kiran City, please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Sir, few students have already mentioned few questions in the chat box about the hybrid funds. So
hybrid funds are basically funds where some of your money will be invested into the equity and some of your money will be invested into the debt. Because through hybrid fund, you get both the benefits of equity and debt. There are two categories of hybrid funds. One is aggressive hybrid funds. In aggressive hybrid funds, majority of your money will be invested into the equity and a minor portion will go into the debt. On the contrary, in conservative hybrid funds, majority of your money will go into the debt fund and a minor portion of that will go into the equity. In aggressive hybrid fund, risk is greater. In conservative hybrid fund, risk is relatively lesser.
Sir, and one more, sir. One more question is like, what product or what government pension fund do you recommend for youngsters like what you are telling about?
My dear, NP, National Pension Scheme. Dr. Narendra knows it very well now. Government of India has started National Pension Scheme, NPS.
Okay.
Next time we can have a session of NPS for your all faculty members and staff members. National Pension Scheme.
Sir, and lastly, sir, what suggestion do you recommend for MBA finance students to excel their career in the field of mutual funds?
As far as career is concerned, not only limited to mutual fund, but in security market, friends, kindly note it down. SEBI has started a new institution, NISM, National Institute of Security Market, NISM. Kindly visit the website of NISM. Lot of online and offline courses have been devised by NISM for students who want to have a career in mutual fund. In NISM, National Institute of Security Market.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any other question, Dr. Uday?
Sir, last question about the ETF funds.
हाँ सर, नमस्कार सर.
नमस्कार उदय जी.
हाँ सर, कैसे हैं आप?
मेहरबानी आपकी, मेहरबानी.
हाँ सर, मैं इतने अटेंड किए मैंने वेबिनार, लेकिन एक भी सर्टिफिकेट मुझको नहीं मिला है.
संजय जी आप देखिए, इनको इस बार जरूर मिलना चाहिए.
हाँ जी 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 जी.
डॉक्टर संजय.
हाँ
पक्का मिलेगा आपको, निश्चिंत रहिए.
हाँ, थैंक यू सर. प्रणाम प्रणाम प्रणाम
प्रणाम. ETF fund, exchange trader funds. In exchange trader fund, my dear, the benefit is that the expense ratio is very less. So the likelihood is that you will get higher return as compared to active funds, because in active fund expense ratio is relatively higher. In passive funds, expense ratio is relatively lesser, and ETF funds are passive funds.
Sir, what is the minimum investment in ETF?
500 rupees through SIP. 500 rupees.
Oh, okay, sir. That's all from my end, sir. From students. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Kiran. That is the questions which he had in the chat box, sir, and for a few questions also I have raised. So Kiran has taken those questions and posted it to you, sir. Thank you so much, Suryakanji, for your valuable session. And any other questions from Dr. Sanjay? Sir?
Any other question from any participant? Just raise their hand.
Hello.
Yeah. Sir, can you name some companies to invest as a direct plan in mutual funds, sir?
No, my dear, that I can't. That will be unfair on my part. That will be marketing of a particular company or a scheme. That I can't, sorry.
Okay, sir, okay.
But kindly spend time, go through the websites, visit websites, get the details. You will yourself will know. And I am just sharing one more thing to all of the participants. there are very useful websites available. One is AMFI website, AMFI, AMFI websites, where a lot of information about mutual fund is given. Mutual fund sahi hai. That website is also available. Secondly, three private websites are also available. First one is ET Money. ET Money, Economic Times Money is also good, a very good website. A lot of information available in mutual fund. Third one is Value Research. That is a private website, but has got a lot of information about mutual fund. And fourth one is Money Control. I am not marketing these websites, but they are very beneficial and they have got a lot of material on the mutual fund.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
There is
e-certificate, which time, sir, come? E-certificate.
What are the impact of inflation on mutual fund?
Yes, mutual impact of the inflation is on every investment product, including mutual fund. But if mutual fund give you inflation beating return, then definitely they are a better proposition.
What are the career opportunities in mutual fund industry?
I have just told them to visit the website of NISM.
We have Dr. Subbaraya with us. Kindly give your observations, sir.
Dr. Sanjay Subbaraya sir is not there. He has got another meeting, so he has joined to that meeting.
Okay, okay. No issues. So kindly carry on, Dr. Rohit.
Sir, can you please unmute Ms. Beena? So Beena will give a proposed vote of thanks, and then we have come to the validatory part of the session.
Already done, sir. Already done.
I request Mrs. Beena to please propose vote of thanks for the webinar.
Okay, sir. Jai Shri Gurudev. Good afternoon, one and all present here. I'm Beena, Department of Management Studies. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's event resounding success. First and foremost, I thank our today's expert, Shri Suryakant Sharma ji, Senior Consultant, AMFI and former DGM SEBI. Sir, thank you so much for enlightening your knowledge with us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
I take immense pleasure in extending my sincere thanks to Dr. C.K. Subbaraya, Registrar, Adi Chunchandgiri University. Thank you, sir. We are grateful to our beloved principal, Dr. B.K. Narendra, for continued support. Sir, thank you, sir. My heartfelt thanks to Mr. Rohit NR, Head of the Department, Management Studies. Thank you, Rohit, sir. And I would like to thank principals of constituent colleges and other colleges across India, research scholars and students across India, making this event as grand success. Once again, thank you one and all.
I also extend a thank you to Dr. Sanjay Agarwal, who is a pillar of this program, who is the one who coordinated with us throughout the session.
Thank you, Sanjay ji.
Thank you so much, Sanjay sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Professor Sharma.
Dr. Narendra, on my behalf and on behalf of AMFI, I am thankful to all of you for giving me opportunity to interact with your faculty members, students. I will be very happy to have continued relationship with your SCM or Educational Institute. I am particularly thankful to Dr. Rohit and Dr. Narendra for making special efforts. And of course, a special thank goes to Dr. Sanjay Agarwal, who has coordinated this event. And Dr. Sanjay Agarwal, thank you very much for your making sincere effort. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, Sanjay, National Anthem.
Yeah, Dr. Rohit, National Anthem is there.
I request everyone to please raise as we are going to have a national anthem now.
भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध
गुजरात मराठा द्राविण उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तिरंगा
तव शुभ नामे
नामे
जागे
जाके
तव शुभ
आशीष मांगे
गाए
गाहे तब जय गाथा
गण
मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे
जय
जय हे जय 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 हे
भारत माता की
जय
जय
भारत माता की जय वंदे
माता की
मातरम
वंदे मातरम
मातरम।
धन्यवाद
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Dr.
धन्यवाद।
Narendra. Thank you, Shankara, sir. Thank you very much.
ये वेबिनार हमने भारत गांधी का अमृत महोत्सव के तहत आयोजित किया है। तो आप सबका धन्यवाद इस कार्यक्रम की में सहभागिता करने के लिए। थैंक यू वेरी मच। थैंक यू ऑल।
Thank you very much.